I was in the European theater. I was in two campaigns, the Rhineland campaign and the Ardennes campaign. The Ardennes campaign included the Battle of the Bulge. The outfit that I was in actually had prepared for the desert, really, but they were needed so badly in Europe that we were sent there. We landed in Cherbourg, France, and there was a hill that we had to take, and the town was on the other side of that hill. The Germans were watching us as we were coming, and just out of the blue, shells started to fall all over the place onto our company. That was our first combat, and within minutes we had some that were killed and others that were wounded. There was another company that a couple of days prior to when our arrival had tried to take that same town, and twice they were turned back. They had dug in on that same hill before they made their attack. There were a number of foxholes where they had been. There were some empty, but there were some that still held the corpses of those previous people that were killed, and some still had their rifles in their hands, and that was probably the most shocking sight that I had seen. When we got to this small town that we were to take over, we could see that there were still snipers, and there were originally 35 buildings. They were all demolished except a church, a school, and a large farmhouse where some of the inhabitants of the village were staying. When we got to the vicinity of the church, out the front door came a priest. I thought I heard him speaking some German words. Well, I had learned a little German in high school, so I recognized that he was speaking German. So I said to him, "Guten Tag," and he recognized that. And then he pointed over to the rectory, and he said, Deutschlanders im Keller. That meant Germans in cellar. So I told the officer in charge what he had told me, and the officer said, "Well, it looks like you know a little German." I said, "Yeah, a little from high school." He said, "Well, then you go inside." I stepped inside the door with my rifle, and immediately I shouted, "Kommen Sie aus mit Hände im Luft." What it meant was, "Come out with your hands in the air." And a few moments later, one came through the arch, and he was followed by 19 more that came out. I look at them more as duty than sacrifices. But it was a duty, and we knew we had to follow through on our duty.